the government will see wisdom in backtracking and ensuring that instead of rather seeking to further criminalize speech, even the remnant laws on criminalization of speech should be.
Bureau now has the technology to use your IP number and find you wherever you are. So I'm sending a signal to Ghanaians.
I'm telling you today, if IGP can arrest Aburinye living Azoka, then he lost his sense. If IGP can arrest Aburinye because he has insult, and the president of the land, John Mahama, has insulted the whole Achim, that they are Sakawa, they are Achim Mafia, and the IGP could not invite him, then he has a what? He has lost his sense. I am telling the IGP that he lost his sense. So unless the IGP come out and demonstrate competency, so that we know that he's working for Ghanaians but not working for the NDC.
Sunday says the CIA said John Mahama and the NDC abo mutrimu po bone na paniaka say Sergeant Boni to ba kuretrimu otonwum e dia asem na asi Mahama azumi office no ye na dwen say supreme leader no wo person for kwa bi so wo ka Ghana fo anu tum enu nti wo sha ase say Chief Justice a wone ne nya adwen ne nso maame ne ye adwuma ye nyini free ho ye nyi police for soldier for penifo nyina free ho na John Mahama embeye the 10 or onye 10 god yen kanasem na ye nyina edi hu adanse say enipa bi ti say Sam George okudato Sami Jamfi ope wo mu edi atoro to mpanifo so a wo mu ne di kan. In fact, and this what me bo brako ani mu emma nkoda tena America hwe wo boy oti America yi edi mpanifo ate oba ye na wo mu de national security ede ne nam. Now John Mahama sro say enkoda no ebe pro ne wediem enti de opese wo ye ne say wo come on watum culture of silence or Ghana for na no atum ti me no ka say o ma shada the bill be called parliament because of more numbers no sebe ya yes national security amendment bill ye kwosesem na Sam George no wo communication minister no ne nkofobia kan bom no matimi o ka asem no mpa o mu akasa asem no aka ye no etia wo mti ye chew e de wakotum ye giwo japade de ekono na so terrible ya di ka kire mo say the NDC omu ye threat to our democracy because the likes of Sami Jamfi ne sankofo no bi te say Sam George no omu ye inexperienced in politics o ma no na ya nti sa wodi tumi show mo say no wa manage wo ma on be destroy no the next 4 years Ghana for mu asembo no po de atia ne say nkomodi e koso abonte ne say yes ye bibi National Cyber Crime Authority Amendment ye koso samra no ne ye de tumi ahye NDC for matwom afo bi nsa na wo nam echichi amanfo quite shocking nti wono ka asem na say wo ka asem for Mahama ho na enye wo da na ye ba freedom of speech ne ya kan wa hye ne ya chew ne ye de wakotom de ye ba no na asem na kodu parliament kodo ponkro ono so ye we journalist no we politician what na not bi Ghana for manante na ye kasa wo internet ne so no di nkomo because na Mahama di ka said the
Bureau now has the technology to use your IP number and find you wherever you are. So I'm sending a signal to Ghanaians that we can find you those doing those hate speech and things. We'll use your IP number, we'll trace you. And when we trace you, we'll deal with you under the criminal code for inciting violence and disturbance of the peace. But I believe that beyond that, we must start making regulation for this new media because it's unregulated. And so anybody just takes a phone and says, oh, this plane crash, I wish that so and so had been the one in the helicopter and had died, and dwarfs have eaten him in the forest. I mean, why would you say something like that? And so we need regulation for that new emerging media. But in the meantime, the National Surveillance Bureau has been given the full authority to track down people who do that kind of thing and bring them to be sanctioned under the criminal code.
Wadi huna Ghana for se baby a wo bia wo the IP address wonsa Mahama na wabon eti wonim size data system ti ye obi na ka say ye the IP address be hwehwo eti wo kasa office wa wie afa no mo be mu adwuma ti afa na ye pe kwa bi ni asesa ndisi matwom afo bi na yasesa mo uniform asha mo ye se monkochi wemra wo ya kasei de oka he ne enye de wo kasem oka ye enye monchene mra monyina dapade mo menfa ne nkotum nti etese ayi kane no marshal court soldier for marshal court no na tumi ne yede mo matwom afo ndisi matwom afo no court grant mi nka wo mo ye more than police chese wo mo ye more than bibia quite shocking but Ghana for ye catch them NDC yenko tie Kwadwo Ponkroma odano ato asem bi afi Ghana for mabunu e internet so na omo ye adwuma with a mass communication so abekasa Ghana for mpani for montra ho lawyer for no a mo tena say ma free speech Mahama person or destroy no under democracy Mahama person will use government agencies and executive orders to ban Ghanaians for speaking their mind no mo de montana say now young tie Kwadwo Ponkroma or say asem we bi the assembly no work efa Cyber Security Authority Amendment Bill eba edi to me be say NDC matwoma for nsem na Sam George akere the operas and the operas na Mahama oda wo monkochi we fa no court monye we omo ankasa ye kangaroo court na wodi be ka nipa no atum ni nyina ne say wo ka MPP fo anu atum o shut wo down en ne be ma nani age yentie Kwadwo Ponkroma ni nchire mo de ba fa asase tie no.
To say that what we are seeing appears to be a draft and that they want to consult on that draft. From what I have seen as a former information minister, this draft is dangerous, though it's not surprising. And let me explain why it's not surprising. It's not surprising because I think the president first announced it, that they are going to use the national security apparatus to go after people who make comments on social media that they consider for whatever reason, whether it's under hate speech or it's under whatever, they consider it unfavorable. They're going to search for your IP addresses and then get the security apparatus to go after you. The president himself said it. So it's not surprising that his minister is now following up with a draft bill with such wild provisions in there. What is dangerous about it is that over the last set of decades, various countries have been moving away from criminalizing speech. There are other remedies for speech that may be deemed unfavorable, most of them civil, but not necessarily criminalizing it. And that's why you would recall that even the Criminal Libel and Sedition Act was repealed by the Kufuor administration. There are still remnants of laws that still seek to criminalize speech. For example, this law that is being used a lot, publication of false news, with intent of causing fear and panic, is one of those laws that actually still needs to be repealed. Instead of repealing that to advance, democratic freedoms, the government is now seeking through this draft that it wants to consult on to enact legislation that will now even ensure that when you put up a comment in your chat groups and they find it offensive according to their criteria, you could go to jail. And I think it's a very dangerous, encroachment into the area of free speech. The government needs to tread cautiously. I'm hopeful that when the consultations start, the government will see wisdom in backtracking and ensuring that instead of rather seeking to further criminalize speech, even the remnant laws on criminalization of speech should be.
Now, enya no kwafe yamra Ghana for mrante ni din komo, especially when ye adwuma e bloggers, vloggers ne mass communication personnel so wo mu din komo. Na wura bi HH mu Kwadwo Sheldon show so how dangerous it is for the Sam George Communication Ministry in collaboration with the presidency and then NDC matwoma for hooligans no ba be ye tell ye kwachichi very dangerous. Airtie and ye airtie your CID your all this institution and yet then ye kwasa to me me nyame nwanwa me se Mahama minim no John Mahama ni de minim no omo no atrutrasam etina Mahama to company kuro mu da no atrutrasam to one obeti to me no a still na dwen ne se woni Ghana fo bi won tokwa ayesa uko company no Mahama ntina to company kuro mu de hwesere mu tokwa Mahama timi aka was ontimi omaniji violence ho asay yen critic basa wo men omompe asomdwe o NDC for Mahama omompe asomdwe da bia na twa ka yo na wo odidi no wosere yen kotie nkoma Kwadwo Sheldon ene nipa bi woni mtie fa saa de we hu say eye culture of silence ye kanipa no atum eye free speech na ye bande no be ba cho kire wadwen na me nri de enye me nwanwa bosuke na I know him Gonja Mafia I know ye ka kire mu na wanti.
It looks like progress, but when you dive deeper into the thing, you realize that the way the amendment has been written, it gives too much power to one authority, and that's where the danger lies. So first of all, the cybersecurity, the CSA, the Cyber Security Authority, will have power to investigate, prosecute, and freeze your assets. That means that one body can act as the police, the prosecutor, and the judge's assistant all at once.
I see.
Right? And normally it's the police that will investigate, and then the prosecutors will charge, and then the judges will decide if you are guilty or not.
Yeah.
But then this law blends all that into one authority. Imagine you put something online, or you are running your business, and then they come and then they say that you are under investigation. They can freeze your money right away and only go to court after 2 weeks.
So they don't need a warrant.
No.
They've been empowered enough to, like, you know,
do that.
exercise some of, you know, these things.
Yes. But then all they need to. So if you read the bill, sometimes all they need is just a 7-day notice.
Okay,
to write
the 7-day notice.
That's all they need, and they can come and then do whatever they want to do, right? So if you are arrested, or if your money is frozen under this bill, and then later you are found innocent, there is no clear path to compensate you. They don't. The law just gives them power to act, but then they don't repair anything.
They destroy, they don't repair.
They don't repair anything.
Okay.
Right. And then what is alarming is also the money involved.
I see.
Because the CSA will be keeping 50% of all fines it collects, plus a cut of communication tax. That's 12% of that, and then 9% of corporate tax. So for people who don't know, the communication tax is just they take it from your airtime, your data bundles, and your call charges. They are going to take 12% of that, and then 9% of corporate taxes. So think about this. The same body that decides who to punish will profit from the punishment.
Okay. Then this will be even a motivational factor to go after people because they will be profiting.
Conflict of interest, a serious one. A serious one. So these are some of the concerns in there, right? And then, like I said, the bill allows them to come and inspect. They'll come for inspections without a court warrant. If you own a business, they can come there and then inspect your things. But then they'll just give you a 7-day written notice that they are coming to check your things. And, so, for example, you like this, they can come to KSS and then they'll just come and go through your systems, documents, and even interview your staff. They can come and hold Scanty's neck and then say that give us
make you divulge information.
He can't do anything because he'll either pay a fine or go to jail if he doesn't comply. And that's alarming.
So it's basically them, like, giving them that much power to police whatever we do in this space.
Exactly. Right. And all we are begging for is that they review some of these things, because this power in the wrong hands, it won't be a good thing.
Okay, Asian aspect, because right now there's an aspect of the bill where certain statements, certain like pronouncement, then go fit talk say this is misinformation, this is disinformation, and they go fit move to you and things. It means like Charlie, right now you have to be circumspect with what you say, like you put out there. Even if you are circumspect and you put something out, you wouldn't know, like somebody go fit just step in and tell you say this is misinformation, and at the end of the day you are going to be subjected to the laws.
Yes. I mean, and the penalties for that is huge.
That is how much?
Oh, you could be fined up to 300,000 cedis.
But who determines what a misinformation and a disinformation is?
They do.
So the law will empower them.
Yes, to do that. Because you see, some of these things are vague. They use some vague terms that they will decide what misinformation is. So, so for example, yesterday, Honorable Sam George flagged one of my posts and then addressed it as
misinformation. Yeah, I saw it.
So something like that, they'll just come and pick me up. They'll come and pick me up and then they will take me straight to jail because I'm a criminal.
I see.
He decided that it is misinformation.
You will not be allowed to explain your tweet or anything. They will just send you in.
Oh yeah, you see, so that's some of them. So like I said, they can act as the police, the judge, and all that. So even before your case gets to the court, judgment has already been passed. How is it that you, just because I suspect you, I come and seize everything you own, and then after 2 weeks we find out that you're innocent before we give it back to you? So that was just some of those powers that we are addressing. It's just too much power in one body.
In one body, okay.
They can pass judgment even before I am proven guilty or not. And like I said, 300,000, or you go to jail for 3 to 5 years for spreading false information. And so,
but you see, spreading of misinformation, for example, when you look at our system in our space, you know that like people spread misinformation. Even the politicians themselves, right? They spread misinformation. It's all over the place. So don't you think something like this is going to help curb, like, you know, the spread of misinformation in the system? Or still, a conversation must be had about the whole thing?
Yeah, so it is not really about the spreading of misinformation. It is about who is defining what
misinformation is.
Yes, that's where the problem is.
Okay.
Because if somebody doesn't like you,
okay,
right, it's
It's a vote for homosexuality.
Uh-huh.
It's a vote for comprehensive sexuality education. And Ghanaians say
Hey.
no to Trumu.
Okay.
No to Trumu. No to Trumu. A vote
Yay.
for Bawumia and Napo is a vote for homosexuality. Is a vote
Sir.
for comprehensive sexuality education.
Atropeni.
Ghanaians say no.
Okay.
what is the cyber security, you know, act about? Like, why are you so, like, you know, I've seen for the past 2 days you are on the TL trying to enlighten people, trying to, you know, highlight some of the clauses in this particular amendment bill that you feel like, nah, bro, when we give, you know, that much power to an authority, it go in a long way to affect us. And so even to the point that you've had like some back and forth with the Minister of Communications and everything. And now I've heard that they've extended the deadline for opinion soliciting and submissions and everything. But what is the cyber security amendment bill? How did you even come in contact with it? Because more people even have zero idea, knowledge about the fact that something like this is going on in the background.
Yes. So before I begin to speak on this subject, I beg everybody listening to me, just read the Cyber Security Amendment Bill 2025 for yourself. You can just Google it, Cyber Security Amendment Bill 2025. You'll find a link online. Click on it, open the PDF and read it. Because there's a lot in there that affects your money, your business, and then your freedom online. Right. So the bill itself is not anything new.
Okay.
It is an amendment to something that already exists. That is the Cyber Security Act 2020. A law that Ghana already has to fight cybercrime.
Okay.
But now what the government is doing is that it wants to change some parts of this law and then expand the powers of the Cyber Security Authority, adding new offenses and then changing how the whole thing will be funded.
Okay.
Right. So, like I always say, I don't think that the entire bill is a bad thing.
Okay.
Because it is meant to strengthen Ghana's cybersecurity system and to protect us from hackers and scams and then online crime. And that's something we all want.
Yeah, true.
Yes, but then on the surface, it looks like progress. But when you dive deeper into the thing, you realize that the way the amendment has been written, it gives too much power to one authority. And that's where the danger lies. So, first of all, the cybersecurity, the CSA, the Cybersecurity Authority, will have power to investigate, prosecute, and freeze your assets. That means that one body can act as the police, the prosecutor, and the judge